We have been in business since 2011. Microsoft Gold Partner, ISO certified. We have delivered over 200 more or more probably successful implementations and probably hundreds of more actual add-on installations across the world. We, of course, develop on Power Platform. We are also having a custom development practice. Recently, we have had a lot of success in running artificial intelligence products or projects. We have been implementing custom co-pilots. And of course, in the last 10-15 years, we have developed a number of solution frameworks which can be run on Power Platform as well as on open source, which tend to give industry focused solutions. To supplement all of that, we also are into website development. We do a lot of media development and content development. So all of this gets packaged in terms of communication very effectively. We also do digital marketing and SEO, and some of our customers tend to be both customers for Dynamics as well as for the portals or the websites that we build. I would want to talk a little bit about is our speaker today. I welcome our CEO and the person who was actually the founder of Soluzione, who started this company as a practitioner, and over the years has gained a lot of international acclaim for the work that she has done for our end customers. She has been a founder of not only Soluzione but other industry solutions and companies on initiatives of the company. A lot of her experience of working directly with the customers have resulted in building solutions like what you're going to see today. So I would leave the stage to her, and I think she can possibly talk a little more about why we built this particular solution. And the story from here on, I think it's best that I leave the floor to Sonika. Sonika, welcome, and
Thank
we
you
all
so
look
much,
forward
Saurabh.
look forward to learning from this particular session, and I'm sure everybody who has joined is also doing that. So, full floor is all yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. And thank you so much for joining our webinar today. Thank you for making all the time to be with us. So without taking much time, I'll actually start talking about, what we are doing here, what we are talking today. So as Saurabh mentioned, these add-ons that we have built are actually a result of a lot of learning that we have had about the products in last 15 years, and we identified certain problems which we thought all users will face, and that's how we started building these add-ons. Our HTML editor is one of our very dear to heart add-ons, because it has come out as a result of a lot of difficulties we have faced as part of projects and with our experience. So it is an HTML template editor for business users, not just developers. That is, on that note, I would like to start. So I believe everybody who has joined this webinar today has either used Dynamics 365 or Power Platform and are aware of the HTML template editor that comes by default with it. And they would have faced some difficulties in some form. So let's talk about them. So the challenges. So I believe that the default editor works pretty well as long as we are doing the basics. We are sending notifications, basic communication to end users or the recipients. But the moment we want to go the next step or want to work with more elaborate data, that's where the shortcomings, start showing up. So the basic issues that we have faced are these three, I would say. So number one, the designer we feel is inefficient. It's not very friendly for people who are non-coders. They can only create basic textual templates. Second, it's only supports some limited 14 entities, which are the system entities. And other than that, if you want to work with any custom entities or any related data, really there's no option. Last but not the least, working on the branding side. If I want to use different images, or rather same images again and again, or if I want to build a repository in my system of my company brand images and stuff, I have no way to do that. I always have to go browse, select, do that good stuff, right? So it's a lot of work which we wanted to cut down, and that's how we came up with our editor. So the basic features that it offers really would be that it's drag and drop, it's user friendly, it has a lot of advanced editing options, it has rich capabilities, it is responsive, it is for today's design, it works with all the devices. We have flexible image management. Of course, the most important feature, like I said, it works with all entities, system and custom, and we are also able to extract all related data from them. Last but not the least, what everybody is looking for today, the AI assistance. Our latest version is supporting the AI assistance with the premium version. Okay, so I think that's a lot of talking. I believe you guys would want to see some action now, and we would really want to do the demo. So before we start to do the demo, I want to set some base. What I'm going to do is we will do a one-on-one comparison with the base editor that comes with Dynamics, and then we'll show what the Soluzione editor has to bring on the floor, and that's how you'll be able to compare with the applications. Okay, so starting with the demonstration bit. So I am on my Microsoft Dynamics screen, and I believe you guys would be aware that we have to click on advanced settings, and then we get the template section. We click on the email templates, and this is where we get the default email template editor, right? We have the option to hit new, pretty standard, and this is where I can start building a template. So I'm just going to use some default name to begin with. And as you would notice, these are the entities that I can work with. Now, of course, these are some of the most important entities of the system related to sales and customer service, but that's it. I cannot work with anything else. Nevertheless, I'm going to start with contact entity and try to create a template and show how things work, right? So I've chosen contact entity. This is our default editor. I can give a subject. So let's start with building some very basic templates. Let's say I want to wish happy birthday to my end customers, right? So I'll start typing with happy birthday with, let's say, my contact first name. And if you notice, these were the only 3 entities that I saw here. So I gave that. And now if I have to start typing, I can start typing some content. So for the sake of demo, what I've done is I've pre-created a template that I'm going to open here so that we do things faster. It's the same template. I've said happy birthday, contact first name. And after that, I've put all the content that I wanted to add, right? If you notice, we have text here. I've tried to make it pretty. I can make it larger, smaller, all that stuff. I can insert images. Let's say if I want to insert another image here, what I'm going to do is go and click image. And if you see, either I have to give a web address or I browse from file. I insert again, let's say my image, right? And it gets loaded. The next time I have to import the same image, I have to repeat that activity. I can insert templates. So it's a pretty good template, no problems about it, but there's nothing fancy about it either, right? The features that are available are basic formatting, right? And basic structures. So I have this template, which is ready to be sent. Now let's look at what Soluzione template editor has to bring on the ground. So when you install our add-on, we give you a managed solution. When you install it, you will start seeing a new app called Email Builder. Okay. And when we click on the email builder, it's a pretty simple app. It has just two sections. First, editor settings, where you have to do some initial settings when you onboard the system. And then we have this email template section, which is almost 100%, almost, similar to what we see by default. Now, let's start by creating the same template over here. So I'll give it some name. Okay. I'll start choosing the entity. So if you now start looking over here, you will see that you have all possible entities in the system. These are all system and all custom entities that we are displaying here. So for the sake of comparison, initially I'm going to take the same contact entity. I'll give the same subject. I can insert dynamic text from here. Now you'll see a difference. You're able to see the base entity that we chose as the primary entity, and also all the related entities to my contact entity. And I can use fields from any of these entities that I want. So that's one of the coolest features that I want to call out. So let's start choosing first name. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Now the things are a little different. After this point, what I have to do is I have to hit the template editor. And this is where you start seeing the differences. Now, this editor comes with either you start from scratch, just like you do in the default editor, or you have a complete gallery of these pre-built beautiful templates. There are up to 350 templates that are available in this editor, where you can pick and choose whichever style you want. And all these templates are completely responsive. That means they work for all devices properly. So I can choose any template for demo purposes. Let's say the first one. And the moment I do that, that template gets copied over to this editor. Now this editor over here, if you see, is very different from what we were seeing in the default editor. So let's start looking at the various things that it offers. Number one, I have these sections that have been embedded and I can completely change them. Now, if I want to remove something, it's as simple as cutting it out. I have the option of including various structures which are pre-built, and I do not have to work on the design part. So let's say I included this section. I want another section above this. I want something at the bottom over here, let's say. So I added these things for me. Now let's start looking at the content that can be filled here. So you have the option of adding text, image, and many more things. We'll talk about them one by one. So let's say I start with adding a spacer. Okay. Below that, I want to add some text. So let's start adding some text here. Okay. Now, when I try to edit my text, I have this complete editor, and where, if you notice, I can add many more fonts other than the default fonts that are available with the default editor. So let's say I start with using Poppins and increase the font size. I thought these are too many columns. I don't want 3 columns. I can totally go ahead and reduce them. I can add an image here, or I can add a button here for that matter. Adding these things are easy. I can easily pick and choose colors, make them full width, stuff like that. Okay. Let's start looking at the various options that are available over here. So I can add images. Let's add an image here. So if you would notice, I have this predefined list that I've been using for my various templates. Let me start by adding this one image. It has been inserted, right? Now, if I want to use the same image in some other template, it is available in my gallery. It's by default in the AWS that we have. It's Amazon storage that we have, and we can pick and define where we want to upload it. I can completely edit these images. It has advanced editor tools. If you would notice, we have these advanced tools. We do not have that kind of time, so I would not be able to demonstrate everything here. But you can really go and edit, resize, crop, remove background, do all that cool stuff from here. You can insert more content. Let me just quickly show you. So that I show you different types, I can insert GIFs. Okay. Now, when I'm changing these GIFs, I can search something here and start showing you, just like, the various editors that are available. I can start inserting images from right here. Okay. And totally resize them. So let's say I added, sorry, my bad. I'm trying to add a video now. In my video, I can give a path. I have kept a path for you guys to show. So I have been able to embed a video here. I can resize it. I have all this option available in all the different kinds of videos, GIF, image, everything. I can do that. Okay. I can add social icons, and one of the nice features is I can pick and choose which ones I want to show, which ones I want to hide, and then I can go and start defining the links for each one of them that are visible. I can define my link, and that's how I'll go. Okay, so these are the various features that are available. Now, one of the other cool features is, let's say I've defined my font style over here. I do not want to keep copying. I change the style here. Let's say I change it to something else. Now, I do not want to do this on every section. I can clone my sections. I can move my sections up and down with ease. And if I don't like something, I can totally remove it, right? So that is the ease with which you can work with this editor. The possibilities are immense. You can embed HTML code. You can embed products when you're working with e-commerce. So you have all those possibilities over here. So I'm saving and closing. Another important thing to notice is that you have the ability to preview how your template will look with a web, and how will it look on a mobile device. And if you would notice, it is resizing based on the device. If I don't like something, I can switch to edit mode. I can change it, save it. Okay. Now, once I'm done with my editing, I will close this. I'll come out. And again, just like the other template, I have also built templates through this editor, which is again a happy birthday template. I'm just going to open that and show you guys. So the very same template that I showed you there, has been rebuilt here, if you notice. And it is looking much nicer and much more professional. We'll also talk about inserting tags. We'll come to that with the next template. So let's see how this template looks when I'm trying to send it to people. Let's see the difference between both the templates. So I have predefined some contacts which are going to my emails. All I have to do is go and send direct email, or you can go and insert template, whichever way. So I'm going to insert my template that I've just built. Or rather, let's try and insert the default template that we created first. So let's start by looking at what our default editor gives us, and then looking at what we have created here. I'll send the email. So I should receive it shortly. So I've sent it to one of my Office 365 mailboxes and one of my non-Office 365 mailboxes. And this is the template that I have received. Okay, this was created by the default editor. Okay. Again, checking here. Yahoo is taking longer. It's okay. We'll just wait till we send the second email to check. So now I'm going to send the second email template in the same way. And this time I'm going to send the template that we built with the HTML template editor. Did I show that we had to publish the template? Yes, I did, I think. And now I've received the second email. And this time the email has been reformatted to look like this. So I've nicely formatted properly responsive email template that has been created. I hope you would have received it here by now. Yeah, we did. This is the first email that we received. And this is the second email that we received. Right. Okay. So that was a simple scenario. Now let's talk about actually using the entities which are not system entities and that are not available in that list. If I had to do that bid, what would I do to do that? Now, if I try to go here and start looking at what are the possibilities, I have no possibilities to create an email template. If you notice over here, I cannot do it. So this is one of the shortcomings of the default editor that we have tried to overcome. So for demo purposes, let's talk about a scenario where we have two entities. One is a hiring position, where it's an open position in a company, and another is candidate applications, where people are applying for that application. So for example, I have a hiring position where I have a job description and skills. And for that, there are different people who are applying. And these are the people who would have applied for different positions. Okay. So now I want to send out an interview email to these people. So I want data from my candidate application. And I want data. So for example, if I'm trying to send an email to Mary Smith, I want to say that you're invited for this position. Your interview details are this, and your hiring position details, which are in the other entity, are as follows, as they are showing here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a template with the new template editor. Okay. So we'll start by creating a new template. We'll call it something. And this time I'm going to use a custom entity, and it'll be called candidate application. Okay. Subject, I can totally define. And start working on the template. So I have built a template for you, and let's look at that. So if you notice, it's a candidate application, and I've invited the candidate full name. So I've put the content here, but the points to note are, number one, if I'm trying to include a candidate's name, how do I go about that? I have a section for merging tags where I can pick CRM entities, and it gives me all fields related to all the entities, the primary entity and all the entities related to the primary entity. Okay, so let's look at the candidate application. I'm inviting the candidate full name, for example. Okay, now if I had to use the interview from the same entity, I would keep inserting the fields from the same entity. But if I had to insert fields from a related entity, I would go again, I will simply say merge tags. And if you notice, I can see in the hiring position entity which is related over here. And it's as simple as including a field from here. Okay. So once again, if I had to add a field from here, I would go select a related entity, select the field, and that's all that is needed. I have given all the branding and things and save this. I can preview it. Looks good on both the devices to me. I'm going to save it, close it. And the next important thing which I missed out in the previous template is we have given an option of publishing. So we want that only the templates which we feel are ready are available for the users to use, and whatever are not, you can unpublish them from here and they move to the draft mode. So I'll go and publish. Another very cool feature is cloning of entities, where if I want to create a very similar email template, I don't want to rewrite it again, I can simply clone it. It has created a copy for me. It has just put a copy of, and everything else is same, and the editor is same. Okay, so coming back to our templates, you would notice that you see the different statuses over here. I have my template, which was demo template 2, which I've just created, and I've created some candidates over here. I've created 3 candidates. One of them goes to office email. 2 of them are other email providers, just for the sake of checking. I'm going to go and select this and send a direct email. It's going to copy that name. And this time it will be demo 2. You can see this email here. I sent it. Just here is my template. If you would notice, it has taken the content from my primary entity, all the details, and it has taken all the details from my secondary entity. It looks 100% same on all the various platforms that we send it to. Looks like it just takes time to send this email. But if you notice, the look and feel is exactly the same. So it's the same template that I've shown you on 3 different platforms here. Right. So these are pretty much the features that I'm able to demonstrate at this point in time. We have certain key benefits. Obviously, it's time saving. We are able to create some really cool templates without the help of developers much faster. We are able to clone them, copy them, do all of that fun stuff. We have enhanced personalization. You can get data from all the custom system related entities. Of course, they are fully responsive, visually appealing, which increases the engagement. And we are able to maintain brand consistency because we are able to manage our own repository. I would talk a little bit about our other add-ons, and then we'll, really open for more questions. So we have our SharePoint metadata capture add-on, which is a very hot add-on, and we have done a webinar last month, and you guys would be able to find it on our website. We have Report Scheduler, which addresses the issue of sending same report with change data on a regular interval to same set of people. We have Activity Timeline, which is more visually appealing and caters many more features, filtering and sorting. We have a Kanban board, which works on the views and gives many features there. We have Auto Counter, which is advanced auto counter, where you can give different kinds of options in counting. We have multiple accounting connectors, Zero, Myobi, QuickBooks, which we have built, and we have notification engine for sending generic notifications without coding required. So all the details of all these are available on our website. You can go and check, and you can reach out to us